Good morning, guys. If you go visit the darkness of which you have been running from, then you create the opportunity to discover something in yourself, to better yourself. But if you keep running from the darkness of which you are running from, then that darkness, it's gonna come visit you. And it's gonna stay with you even when you don't want it to stay. You're not gonna be able to get rid of it. It's gonna stick around, it's gonna linger around, you're gonna try to evict it. And that darkness, it's not gonna leave until you go and visit it. Until you greet it and you go and say to that darkness, how are you doing? What's going on? And you conquer that fucking shit, man. You know, recently I actually felt really lost in life, and this is not something that like I have felt in a long time. And I mean a long time. You know, it's probably been a year and a half since I actually felt a little bit lost in life. So it was new to me, and you know, I understand when you like find yourself and you get some momentum going in life, like you're not always gonna feel that way. There's gonna be times where you go back to feeling that lost type of way. And when I got done with my bodybuilding show this weekend, which maybe you guys saw it, maybe you didn't, but I got done with my first bodybuilding show of the season on Saturday. And then I got home on Sunday, and I just went right to sleep because I was up for like 48 hours. But then Monday, you know, I got up and I went about my regular process, right? I woke up at 5 a.m., I did my journaling, I did some cardio, I started to eat my meal plan, like I was right back on track, right? But then kind of like Monday afternoon and Monday night hits, and I'm feeling lost, dude. I'm thinking to myself, where am I going in life? Like, what is next? And then yesterday, which would have been Tuesday, the day after that Monday, dude, I didn't like do anything yesterday. Like I got up, of course I did my morning routine, I did 40 minutes of cardio, I did everything, right? But then like 10 a.m., 11 o'clock hits and I'm just feeling tired. And you know, maybe it's something off inside of my body, but like I had a bunch of caffeine in me, right? Like a bunch of stimulants, like I shouldn't have felt tired. And so I think there was something going on inside of my mind. And I think my mind was like making me tired and pushing me towards going to sleep. And so that's what I did. I took a nap. And this is very odd for me. I rarely ever take naps. And this is when I knew something was off. This is when I knew that like, you know, I think I'm feeling a bit fucking lost in life. And so I laid down there, all stimmed up, but then just kind of like thinking about my life and thinking about, you know, what the fuck is going on. And I don't even know if I want to do this next show, right? Just because this bodybuilding show has been taking such a toll on my body and my mental health and my relationships and even like my business, man. It's just been fucking hard. And so I'm lost. I'm like, what do I do? Do I go do that? Because if I go do that, then I still have a mission to work towards. But if I don't do that, like, what am I going to work towards? Like, what is my next goal? And that's why I'm feeling lost, because I don't know what decision to make and I don't know where to go. And I don't know what to do next. I don't know what I am even here doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I here doing? So I lay down, I take that nap, and I get back up and I go to the gym. And then I get home from the gym and I'm still feeling this type of way, right? And I noticed to myself, you know, I'm running away. Because I made a video on TikTok in the parking lot after the gym saying, bodybuilding took my life away, I'm dropping out of my next show. That's what I made. You know, I was just like, I can't do this shit anymore, it's just ruining my life and ruining my body, and I feel like shit, and there's other things I want to go pursue. But the thing is, I'm only 3 weeks away from that show. And it's like, either 3 weeks of sacrifice or you just give up on it. Like, you've come such a long way. And even though, you know, you're not really in the right shape for the bodybuilding show yet because you had a little bit too many fucking cheat meals after that first show, and also some other things, why not just fucking sacrifice and make it happen? Because when I posted that video, you know, somebody in my comments was like, be strong, Ryan, you got this, you work so hard. And I replied to him like, it's not weakness that I'm giving up on the show. It's the fact that I truly fucking hate this. But then I sat there that night and I really thought about everything. I really thought about why I'm feeling lost, why I'm feeling this type of way. Why am I rationalizing myself and I'm thinking about dropping out of this goal? Because it's getting really fucking hard. And it's almost becoming detrimental to my life. Why? What's going on? And I faced the fucking darkness. I faced my thoughts. I opened up my journal. This is exactly what I did because, I went to go lay down. I was trying to do work after the gym, and I just still felt that type of way where I was feeling fucking tired, where I was feeling like shit. And so I was going to lay down. I was fucking doom scrolling on TikTok, and I'm just sitting there, and I thought to myself, you can run away from this, or you can take action and figure out what the fuck is going on and figure out a game plan. Because here's the thing, Ryan, the longer you wait to figure out what you're gonna do next, the longer you're gonna feel lost. And the longer you feel lost, the deeper you're gonna get into that feeling of feeling lost. Because every day that goes by that you feel lost, you become 1% worse. It's a fact, you become 1% worse. Because you don't have a mission, a goal you're working towards. And so you're just gonna backtrack all the progress you have been making. So you have to face that darkness, even though you don't want to, even though you don't want to be honest and truthful with yourself and feel that shit. So I sat there in my journal, I started writing out, I'm truly feeling lost in life at the moment. I don't know what's going on, I don't know where to go. I just got done with my first bodybuilding show, and my hormones are all off, and I feel like shit, and I can't emotionally feel anything at all. And and I posed the question to myself, so what are you gonna do next? That's what I write down. I remember writing that down. So what are you gonna do next? And I sat there for, I think it was 10 or 15 minutes, thinking to myself, what the fuck am I gonna do next? What am I gonna do? And this is where you need to have patience. This is where you need to understand that inaction sometimes is the best thing. If you're young, the issue with us young people is we grew up on our phones. So everything seems so fast. We think the answer should come within 0.01 milliseconds, because that's how when we search up on Google, we get an answer in 0.01 milliseconds. When we go on TikTok, we get answers. Instagram, we expect everything to come fast. And that's just how our minds are set up. But the truth is, that's not the way the world truly works. And so I had to sit there with my patience, right? And just sit there and think, fuck, what are you going to do next to find yourself? Because when you lose yourself in life, it is the perfect time to find yourself. When you feel lost, it is the perfect time to create a new version of yourself, to start working towards a new version of yourself, to create something new. Because when you feel lost, well, you have all this blank slate to start writing on. That's why you feel lost, because you don't have anything to pretty much fucking work towards, pretty much anything to do. You're not busy enough, to be quite honest with you. And so I said to myself, my next goal, I want to scale my business to a certain amount of money every single month. That's what I want to do. And that's what I've been wanting to do. I've just been trying to get these shows out of the way. And so I wrote that down. I said, I want to scale my business to this amount a month. And instantly inside of myself, I felt like a new sparked fire. I felt like a new reason. I felt like I found a new reason to continue doing what I've been doing. Continue doing the hard stuff, right? Continue waking up at 5 a.m., right? Continue doing my morning cardio, my morning journaling. And it just gave me this new motivation, because I woke up today feeling fucking great. This happened last night. I woke up today feeling great. I feel amazing. That cardio I just crushed in there, it was simple, dude. I feel that motivation once again, because now I have this new vision in my mind, this new goal I need to work towards. And I understand that this is something I want, and here's what I need to do. And it motivates me, because I see that vision, and the vision's so bright, it's so amazing, because I spent time visualizing it. And I want it, I desire it. Because when I was feeling lost, I was thinking about where my life was going and it was dark. That's what I was thinking. That's how I felt after the show. I felt like shit. You know, I imagined myself like doing all the cardio and eating all the meals and going to sleep and feeling like shit, and then like just not really seeing what the how the end result would make me feel. Because to be quite honest with you, like standing up on stage, handing a medal, like it doesn't really feel that great. I'll be honest, it doesn't. You know, like I love bodybuilding, but to be quite honest with you, I don't think I love competing. I don't. I think competition in bodybuilding has just gotten to the point where it's lame. I will always love bodybuilding, but I don't think I love competing. So am I still going to do the show? I'm going to work towards it just in case. I don't know, you know, to be quite honest with you. And that's what I was seeing in my mind. It's just like I didn't really want this life I was working towards. And so I knew I needed to create a new vision for myself, to find a new version of myself, to reincarnate, to evolve into the next level of me. Because I was feeling lost in my current level of life. So I needed something newer to work towards, right? So I created that vision. I set my sights on this one goal. And then I kind of like broke down the daily process. What I did is I went over to my computer and I looked at my wallpaper and I said, let's change this shit. So I went into Photoshop, I made a white piece of paper, then I outlined 6 columns. And I put fitness, mindset, habits, nutrition, business goals, and social media goals. And so I had a column for each thing. And I broke down exactly what like the goals I have in these certain areas, or like things I gotta like remind myself of in these certain areas. And then I kind of created a new process for myself, because what I understand is that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You don't rise to the level of your goals, bro. Just because you have this goal doesn't mean you're going to rise to the level of it. You're going to fall to the level of your systems. And so having goals is just a way for you to break down the system you need to create to achieve that goal. A lot of people have goals and they're like, I'm working towards this. Okay, what's your process? You know, sometimes that you need a fucking process so you understand if the inputs are getting you the output you want, right? That's why you create a process for yourself. Because if you're not getting the output, then okay, you look at your process and you change it. But if you don't have a consistent process, then how do you know what to change, right? So I created that process for myself. I said for my physique, what I want is I want to optimize my health and performance and aesthetics. Like I want to stay aesthetic. I want to get a little bit leaner, but then be able to maintain it without as much fatigue. Because that's the issue I was facing in my fitness is I was getting aesthetic, but there was just so much fatigue. I felt tired all the time. I actually felt like shit. But then I want to figure out a way to like look amazing, but then also feel really good. Because I know it's a possibility. I know people do it out there. And a lot of times people tell you it can't happen, but like I believe it can happen. So I'm going to figure out a way to make it happen. And so I kind of set up like a new way of eating. I'm going to try like just start eating 3 meals a day. So I'm going to fast all the way until I work out. I get unlimited coffees though. They can have a little bit of cream and sugar in there. I'm going to fast until I work out. I'll have a big post-workout meal, then I'll have a little snack at night. So 3 meals, right? And so I'm more likely to eat less calories, okay? Because my big issue is when I eat my breakfast at the moment, I get very hungry and I kind of end up eating too many calories in the morning. And then that kind of like causes me to slow down and my work goes to shit. So I'm going to try something new, right? And then that's what I wrote down there. And I also want to optimize my actual like mental clarity as well, right? So that's another part of it, is kind of cutting out the carbs a little and going a little bit more carnivore just to optimize that mental clarity, right? And so I wrote down that in nutrition. I wrote down how my training's going to go, where I'm going to have, you know, 1 active recovery day. I'm going to train 6 days a week. I'm going to start getting into running as well. And so like I wrote down all these things, all these new processes for me to practice on a week-to-week basis. And I kind of got hyped, you know, because like I saw the new vision for myself, and then I outlined the exact process. And within 24 hours, 48 hours of feeling super lost and questioning to myself, what is next in life? I created a new plan and I'm right back on track now. And so if you are out there and you have been feeling lost for a long period of time, you've been feeling lost longer than a week, longer than a month, especially longer than a month, this is the process you need to fucking follow, man. I'm telling you right now, you feel lost because you don't know where you're going, so you need to set direction. You need to know what to do on a day-to-day basis to achieve your goals. That's why you feel lost. That's also why you feel tired and almost depressed. That's the reason yesterday I felt like I needed to take 2 naps and I felt extremely tired. Maybe my body's like recovering a little bit from the show and so on, but in my true belief, because I drink a lot of caffeine and I know how caffeine works for me, it usually gets me wired. I was still just like so tired. In my belief, my body made me tired because it wants me to get away from my computer. It wants me to get off my phone. It wants me to just go lay down and sit there in my own mind. Like just lay down, face on the pillow, blackness, so that the only sense that I can tune into is my thoughts. Because when you're not laying down, when you're moving around, you have your feeling senses, your eye sense, your ear sense, like all these different senses are being stimulated. And so they're kind of all at like 25% or 20%, however you divide it up, of like, you know, they're taking that much energy if you have 100% energy for your senses. But when you go and lay down because you're tired or you're depressed, all of your energy is going into the one sense of like thinking, of thoughts, of your mind. And that's what kind of like your body's trying to force you to do. It's trying to force you to think. It's trying to force you to face that darkness and make friends with it. And so that's kind of why I felt that way. That's why I went and laid down and I started to think to myself, you got to figure this out. Like, you got to figure this shit out, because if you wait, it's not going to be good. And I almost got to the point of running away from this darkness by literally booking a trip. I literally go look at flights to fucking Tulum, Mexico. I'm like, dude, $300, fuck yeah. Airbnb 500 for a month, fuck yeah. I was like, for less than $1,000, I could have gone to Tulum for a month. Because I just wanted to like escape so bad. I wanted to escape my reality. I thought I needed a vacation to go and find myself, to relax. But when it comes to feeling lost, you don't need that to find yourself. That's just you running away from the darkness. What you need to do is pretty much just get tougher. You pretty much got to set your sights and keep going, man. You're going to feel like you reach burnout, but that's not what you reached. What you're simply facing is frustration. And frustration, a way to think about it, and you're going to feel the feeling of frustration when you get super close to your goals, but there's just something a little bit off. Like when you get super close to fulfilling a layer of your purpose in life, you're going to feel frustrated. It's just how it's going to feel. It's like the final boss at the end of the level, right? And you're going to have all these different emotions, and you're not going to be able to really read them properly. And this is where a lot of people give up. That's where a lot of people, they take the vacation, right? Or they stop pursuing that goal, or they just like, they allow themselves to feel lost, right? Or they go back to old vices, or they go back to old habits. They don't continue pushing forward and realize that that's the end of the level, and that it's about to get really fucking hard, because now you're about to go to the next level. But if you don't make it to the next level, man, you're never going to get the fucking prize at the end of that level. You're never going to get the experience points. You're never going to level up. So you got to fucking keep pushing when you feel lost. And again, the way to go about that, man, you got to sit down with yourself and you got to be patient. You got to think to yourself, where am I going? And wait for the answer to come to you. All you need is a general direction. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, okay? A lot of people try to overcomplicate their goals. They try to overcomplicate what their purpose is. They try to overcomplicate everything. But really, if you can simplify everything in your life, that is like an extreme form of intelligence. That means you truly understand where you're going and what you want, right? So what I'm trying to say is, don't overcomplicate it. Whatever that first thought that comes to your mind, that next goal you want to work towards, that next layer of your purpose you want to achieve, whatever that simple thought is, just write that down. Because you'll look at it and be like, no, this is too simple. That can't be what I need to work towards next. But simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And so if that's what came to your mind, that's what you need to work towards. And then you break down that daily process, the process you must live your life by in order to achieve that. And that right there is going to give you tangible actions to take that are going to raise your vibration out of that negative state you've been feeling like you've been living in, man. Thinking back to all the other times I've been lost in life. Especially, it came a lot after breakups as well. A lot of times after breakups. And feeling lost only ever came after breakups when I didn't have goals I was pursuing. Because throughout this prep, I did, I guess, break up with this one girl. I never asked her out fully, but like we were tight is the best way to put it. But we stopped talking. And realistically, like, didn't really affect me quite at all. Like, I haven't really felt too much bad about it, you know? But in the past, when I wasn't working towards like a goal and I went through a breakup, man, that shit fucking hurt, dude. Like, yeah, I had these small goals, go to the gym, go to work, make some money, improve. But this was just fucking small goals that everyone has. These were goals. These weren't layers of my purpose, right? And so that's when I felt super, super fucking lost after those breakups. And I spent so many weeks and so many months running from that darkness to things I didn't want to face. But you gotta make friends with that shit. You gotta say hello to it and have a conversation with it. See what's going on. Because that's the only way you're gonna discover what you gotta do next, man. So whatever it is you're running away from, man, after this video, I need you to sit there and face it. I need you to sit there with your journal. Open up, write out exactly what you've been going through, man. Exactly what you've been going through. What caused you to feel lost? And then you pose yourself the question, well, what the fuck am I gonna do about it? What am I gonna do next? What is my next goal, Ryan? And you're gonna have to sit there until it fucking comes to you, bro. Sit there until it comes to you. Sit there and think about it. Think about what has worked out in the past, first off. That's where I would start. Think about what has worked for the past for you, okay? Because the whole reason you feel lost is because you don't have a process to live your life by. That's it. I'm sure you can remember times where you had a process to live your life by and you felt great, right? You felt amazing, okay? You were busy all day, et cetera, and even though you hated the busyness, it was still better than having no fucking goals to work towards and not being busy, right? So think back to a time when you had a process to live your life by. Just think about it. And also think about, what is the next layer of your purpose? And you can think of purpose as like an onion. I always describe this. It's like an onion. And the core is just to become a man you admire, a person you admire. But then each layer is like a different chapter of your life. And so my layer right now is working towards these bodybuilding shows. Not because I really love the rankings of bodybuilding and I want to become I still want to go get my pro card just because it's something I told myself. Now I kind of want to take a little bit more time with the goal. I don't want to rush myself because it was really getting unhealthy for me, I'll be honest, but I still want to achieve that layer of my purpose. And so my current layer of purpose was this bodybuilding, right? But then I kind of uncovered that and now I'm working on that next one. And I really want to enhance my actual just overall performance as a human being, right? Because that's a little bit of what I lost going through this prep. Is I lost a little bit of that mental clarity, that mental performance, that energy I used to have. So now I want to find a balance. That's another layer to it. So now I want to achieve this bodybuilding. I want to achieve, better results for my business. I just want to become a better entrepreneur because that's a good challenge for every man. But then I want to find out how to intertwine them. And so that gives me a really that's a really big goal. And I consider it a layer of my purpose. Because I when I see me achieving that life of being able to balance being a good bodybuilder, right? Being physically in good shape and then also having a good amount of muscle mass, but then also being a high level entrepreneur, right? I know that that's hard because when you look at entrepreneurs, they're usually just skinny guys. Maybe they have a little bit of body fat on them. But then when you look at bodybuilders, usually they're big guys, but then they're fucking broke, right? It's really often you ever see them intertwined and they can do both very well. So that's what I want to go do because I know it's a challenge. I know it's hard. And then I know if I can achieve that, the the challenges I face along the way, the things I learn from them, the darkness I go through, it's going to be able to make me help so many young men, so many young people. And that is what purpose is. It's taking purposeful actions that eventually are going to help out other people. And eventually the stories from that journey are going to be able to help out other people. That's a little bit about purpose, man. And that can intertwine into creating this new version of yourself that you are going to go create, so that you don't feel so lost in life, so that you can find a new version of yourself. Because again, when you feel lost in life, man, it is the perfect time to reinvent yourself. Because again, the reason you feel lost is because you don't have that process to live your life by. There's a lot of gaping holes in your daily routine. There's nothing purposeful going on. There's nothing actually building you up. You're just doing the bare minimum. And you're running away from that darkness of which you don't want to face. But once you uncover that darkness, you're going to see exactly the things you need to face. You're going to have to head into that direction of darkness, man. Straight up. I had the thoughts of, oh, I got to take a week off the gym. I had the thoughts of, oh, I'm going to go into bulk now. But really, that was me just wanting to eat a lot more food. I had all these different thoughts of heading the opposite direction of where I've been heading, just because I was feeling a bit lost. But what I realized is that's not it. You got to continue heading in that direction, and then you just have to honestly make your goals even bigger. Make your goals even bigger, man. Because if you're going to be on this journey, what the fuck is the point of staying average? What the fuck is the point of becoming a little bit more than average? No, we are doing this shit to become great. And so you gotta understand, man, it's gonna be fucking hard. It's gonna be hard. That's the truth I had to tell myself is, yeah, Ryan. Again, remember, your goals are fucking hard. Of course you're feeling this way. Of course you want to give up. Of course you're gonna rationalize every little fucking thing. But that doesn't mean give up. That doesn't mean pay attention to it. That just means that there's an opportunity for you to grow there. And so that's what I realized. And so I'm gonna continue working towards this show like I would. I'm not 100% gonna hop in it yet, but I'm gonna continue working towards it. Part of me is just detaching from that and just like focusing on the process so it doesn't stress me out. But the big thing I'm focused on is that next big entrepreneur goal. That's what I'm really focused on now. And that gave me a whole new wave of motivation. So don't spend too long running from that fucking darkness, man. Because you're going to build up that compounding interest. And it's just going to get harder and harder for you to get rid of that feeling and find a new version of yourself. You're going to get more and more lost. Take fucking action. Take the fucking action, man. Because the longer you wait to take it, the harder it gets to fucking take it, man. And the only way to get into a higher vibrational state, which is merely the way you live your life, is by vibration. Life is an emotional experience. The emotions you experience change everything, right? You can feel super happy. And like the fucking comparison of the people who smoke weed in a fucking shack with roaches and are super happy with their life. Then there's rich people who have their wife cheating on them and they have like everything that the people in the fucking, roach tent think they would want. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, no matter the materialistic shit around you, life is an emotional experience. So vibration it's so real. And so you need to raise your vibration through action, because that's the only way to raise it. That's the only way to raise your fucking vibrational levels is through action. But you are not going to feel motivated to take the actions that are going to raise your vibration if you don't see a life you're working towards that you want, that you desire. The reason I got tired, the reason I felt lost, the reason I started to go backwards, the reason I started to eat more food than, my daily macros would allow me, right? And I took those naps, right? And etc. Is because that current vision I had for myself, I didn't quite love it. I really didn't quite love it. I didn't. I'll be honest. And that's just a part of life, is sometimes you got to work towards visions to see if you like them. And you'll find parts about them that you'll like, and you'll find parts about them you don't. And that's just the way of fucking life, man. Sometimes the visions you work towards actually weren't what you truly wanted, and that's fine. Right? I don't think I truly love competing. I love fucking bodybuilding. I want to get jacked and shredded, but I don't think I love competing, just because of what it requires with certain things. Not fucking fun. Not fun at all. And so, I knew I had to change my vision for myself. I knew I needed something new to work towards that excited me every single day. So that, like, when I came into the gym, it was no longer, I got to do this because, I got to get in shape for this bodybuilding show, which I don't want to fucking do. No, now I was doing it because it's going to get me into a high vibration. It's going to make me feel great. It's going to raise my energy for this PR talks, right? Which is going to help out my next goal, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that was my mental framework around it. And so the vision you're working towards also creates the mental frameworks that go on in your mind for all the actions you take. And so think about how simple it is just to change your life. It is literally just by visualizing where you're gonna fucking head. What is the next thing you're gonna create? But here's the issue. You may be in a position where you haven't actually achieved a vision in your life, where you haven't yet manifested a thought into reality. I'm in the position where I've manifested many thoughts into reality many times. Many, many times. 4 years ago, I was working at Dick's, making minimum wage, selling shoes. Didn't have anything going for me. I just graduated high school. Within year and a half, I'm kind of in the fitness industry. I got like 200,000 followers, started to make some money. And then within 2.5 years after that, I'm working full-time online. I got my coaching business going. I got 300,000 plus followers now. This is kind of just like the fucking elevator pitch. It took a lot more than just fucking that, right? But these were the visions I was working towards and I was achieving. Then I had this vision of going to Thailand, and I went to Thailand for 2 months. Then I had this vision of that, and I achieved that. Like, I had all these visions that I've achieved. And so, I have a strong belief in myself that every vision I set for myself, I achieve. It just comes down to, okay, now have patience. Now you just have to wait and take time. And so really any vision I have, I get super excited about because I have all these past mental receipts of achieving everything I've ever set my mind to. And if you don't have that, the first place to start is your physique. It is. It's your physique, okay? Because if you can look in the mirror and you can see your current physique, and then you create a vision for the physique you want, and then within 3 to 6 months from now, you achieve that physique, then you just increase your belief that you're able to go out and achieve the visions you have for yourself just a little bit more, right? Just a little bit more. Because 6 months ago, you saw a fat, skinny person in the mirror. 6 months later, you're now ripped, you're jacked, you're shredded, right? You achieved the vision. You saw something in your mind. You understood the process. You went out and achieved it. Boom. That increased your belief and that increased your confidence in yourself. Confidence is competence and courage combined. Competence comes from understanding yourself. So that just comes from life experience and actually going after your goals and doing hard things. Courage comes from heading into the direction of fear. Okay, and every single day when you're working towards a better version of yourself, there's going to be some type of fear. There's going to be some negative emotion. And when you head in that direction, that builds your courageousness to go out there and try to achieve things, even when the emotions you feel trying to achieve them aren't the best, aren't the happy emotions, the best way to put it. So you build true confidence inside of yourself. And then, then your mind really opens up to your visions. And the sky's the limit. Whatever you can visualize for yourself, if you can truly believe in that visualization, you are more than halfway towards that goal. You are more than halfway towards that goal, is what I want you to understand. More than halfway. Half of achieving any goal you set for yourself is simply seeing it and believing that you can achieve that. The rest literally comes down to just fucking patience and action. Think about that. The rest just comes down to patience and action. It's all it takes. It's not having to figure out how you're going to do it. It comes down to patience and action. Because when you see a vision for yourself and you truly believe you can achieve that, it gives you a strong why. It helps you wake up every single day with that fire, that why, that purpose inside of you that's going to go take action. The thing is, you don't need to figure out how. Don't figure out how you're going to achieve your next big thing. Just find that strong why. Because when you have that why, that's when you wake up every single day with that fire. And you stop feeling tired, stop feeling depressed, stop feeling lost. And you start to feel purposeful. You start to feel like, yeah, I want to get up and go achieve something. Like, there's this fire inside of me. I'm liking this fucking shit. I'm liking this life, right? Okay, guys, that's the PR talk for today. I think that's all I can give you guys about finding yourself after you feel lost in life. I just want to make this video because I know I probably won't feel lost for a little bit longer, and I kind of want to talk about it, you know, when I recently went through it, man, you know. And it wasn't like feeling super lost, but it was like I got a tinge of that feeling that I know a lot of young men feel, because I felt it for so long. Waking up, spending your days, laying in bed at night, thinking to yourself, what the fuck is going on? Where the fuck am I going? Am I even doing the right thing? Just not having these best feelings about yourself, and just like kind of going through your days feeling fucking super mundane. Not really feel like you're living. And that's the most important thing about life, is to feel like you're actually living and you're actually going somewhere and you're actually achieving something. And just loving every single second of it, man. And that's a total possibility. But it's up to you to make that change. It is up to you to make that change. It's up to you to be the person who sits there and stares at their wall for an hour. If it takes an hour to come up with where are you going to go next in life. To figure out your next chapter. To find your next purpose layer. And to start unraveling it. To start writing that chapter. It's up to you, man. And again, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, so do not overcomplicate it. My next goal, it was a sentence long. Now this next goal, it could take a whole fucking year. So just realize, I can condense down a goal into one sentence that might take me 365 days to accomplish. And that's all because I really sat there and I really thought about this goal and made sure that, like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I see, like, the challenges along the way. And then if I overcome these, this is how it's going to make me better. And this is the life it's going to bring me, and all these, you know, different things, and how it connects to all my other sub goals, right? Right? You understand that. And I saw that and I was like, yep, simple goal. Simple next chapter, simple purpose layer. When you flip a book and you look at the next chapter, is the fucking title a page long? No. It's like 1, 2, 3 words, maybe a sentence long. Because it's just the sum of what the chapter is going to be about. So when you come up with that next, don't overcomplicate it, bro. That's what the issue a lot of people make, is they try to overcomplicate things. Keep it fucking simple, man. Okay? But seriously, write out the next chapter and go fucking achieve that shit, man. Go fucking achieve that. All right, guys, I love y'all. Thank you for watching the PR Talk. I'm about to go back into the gym and hit the sauna for a little. It's currently 7:11 a.m. Hey, 7:11. Today's a great day. All right, guys. Peace out.